Howdy ho!
Howdy, howdy, ho.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Buck Wellness. I'm Mallory,
And I'm Laura.
And I'm Makena.
and we're happy you're here.
And we're happy to be here too.
Yeah, we are. I just got a little snacky, and I'm feeling energized.
I've missed recording.
Me too.
I feel like when we have bigger breaks of not recording, I feel like my words have nowhere to go.
Yeah, we had a huge break. It was so long.
Well, we also had a lot of guests in a row too.
Mhm.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for us to chat today as friends and as humans and as co-hosts.
Exactly.
I guess it's mid-April and this month is flying by.
Mhm.
This is like the busiest season at work for me. So this month is just like feels like a buzz. Like it just feels like it is just buzzing by.
Why
But
is
then
that?
you fall.
Because spring has sprung.
Well, it's the busiest season for like our office because this is when the students get the most stressed and anxious, and we do all of our like health promotion programming near the end of the semester to kind of help. Like students have run out of run out of money and so they need a lot more food. It's high stress, a lot of anxiety. If they've been procrastinating stuff, it's like finally coming to bear. So it's definitely the time that students need the most support. So like last week we had an event Thursday night, Friday night, and then I was gone working all day Saturday. So that was my biggest week. This week I only have one night event.
Yeah, you
but-
had a stretch of like 3 weekends, right?
Oh yeah, I think more than that. But yeah, it was it's been a time. But I feel like I'm on the other side. Like I have two more big events coming up, but I'm not the lead for them. I just need to make sure that they happen and happen well. So it feels like I'm sort of on the other side of the big mountain, but not like in the valley yet, if you know what I mean. I'm still on the mountain.
Yeah, you're on the mountain. It's still hard to walk. Hard to walk.
Yeah. And then it's weird knowing that this summer is also like full of shit, but it's like fun stuff. So that it doesn't feel like anything this summer is like a chore or thing, or something not to look forward to.
Yeah. How are you feeling about wedding stuff?
I feel like pretty good about it. I mean, I think there's still like a few points of tension with trying to figure out like a few final things, like big things, like where the ceremony will be, what we'll be serving food wise, some
Kind of big thing.
tension around those. But we hired a like design and styling company to do all the aesthetics, and they are like 10 out of 10. So they just sent us their final like vision board of everything. So that was really exciting, and it's like exactly what I imagined. So they're doing a great job, and they have so many things in their like closet. I don't know a better word, but in their, what's the word I'm looking for?
Stuff they already own.
Yeah, stuff they already own.
Inventory.
So, inventory is the word I was looking for. McKenna, watching you with your eyes
No,
really hard.
I'm really sorry. Like I can't. I think I might have to close my eyes and do this.
That's okay.
Like
Really meditative.
I don't think it's meditative. It hurts.
Can you turn off your desk light? Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, but then my lighting is just really bad.
I think that will be okay.
Oh,
I know it's really hard to hear about my wedding, McKenna.
Yeah, McKenna's just so
really
emotional already about the wedding. We can't even bring it up. She just starts crying.
Understandably. I mean, we love here.
We do. I'm worried about her doing the ceremony though.
I like can't even look at my screen. Like I'm just gonna have to look at the wall behind me. Otherwise, as soon as I look at my screen, my eyes.
Just close your eyes.
It's just okay. Listen though, because maybe people will understand. Like people, I didn't describe it well, but you know when you see someone else put like eye drops in, you guys don't have any reaction whatsoever.
I
your
don't feel
eyes,
comfortable. Like I don't like it, but I don't think
but
my
your eyes don't
react.
water.
No.
What? Oh. That happens like anytime I see anything with someone's eye, my eyes water. Just like when you think about sour stuff, your mouth waters.
Hmm.
But the eye watering is not comfortable.
So hypothetical, if my eyes were watering right now and I was having an uncomfortable time like you are right now, would your eyes also start to water?
No, it's only if I see you do something to them. Like if you're trying to take a contact out or you're putting
Like Laura,
drops
poke
in,
yourself
or-
in your eye
yeah.
right now.
If you poke
Okay,
yourself.
make it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
like
that
take
turning
your
the light off
finger
helped a lot.
right
Three
in.
Stooges style.
Yeah.
I'm really sad that first part of my eyes is gonna be on YouTube. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I think it's good to see you grappling with it, you know.
It's nice for others to see you in pain.
Yeah. Maybe it'll get a lot of views like my hiccup one did. Maybe this is like a thing that some people out there have.
Oh
Like
my
a
Yeah,
kink.
a kink.
Okay, wait, back to the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things are wrapping up planning wise.
Yeah.
Well, really in like 2 or 3 weeks they'll be fully wrapped, right?
Yeah, I mean, RSVPs are due May 1st. So we're only waiting on like, I don't know, like 6 more people to RSVP. So,
And then you can choose the ceremony site.
well, yeah, there's more to that one, but yeah. Yeah, to discuss at later time. But then it gets to be the most fun part, which is where I get to seat people, which I could not be more excited about.
Are you talking about bridal council?
No,
Or-
like the tables, like
Oh,
it's
the
see
wedding
people.
tables.
I thought you said
Yeah.
see people.
Oh no, like seating arrangements. I could not be more excited about something than making people sit where I tell them to sit. It's like a power trip, but a fun
Yeah,
one.
this is like
I'm a little
maybe-
scared actually.
All I can do is smile and wave.
Yeah, this is your favorite school project, Mallory, come to life.
Are you
Yes,
gonna have
I
a poster
know.
board?
I mean, in theory. Oh, like in preparation?
Yeah.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Just
That
to
would be nice.
visualize the conversations that you're going to be creating.
Yeah. I mean,
As the
again,
game
theme of the
maker
wedding.
of your wedding.
Theme of the wedding is meaningful conversations. So all of it has to be in the pursuit of that. So I have to make sure I have put all my deep friends together.
You know what you should have is you should have little like conversation cards like at the table if people don't know how to start their conversation.
That's
That's
what
cute.
that's what my friend did at hers. It was a great idea.
I love that.
They were cute little things like, what's your favorite type of pasta?
Oh.
But mine are going to be more of like, what do you think happens after you die? You know,
Laura's laughing.
Makena like, oh, that's so cute.
I'm
my
sorry.
For those of you listening, McKenna's really struggling with her eye.
With her eye, and I
This
just
has
made
never
fun of her.
happened to me ever in my life.
Maybe do you have like one of those eye patches? That might really help.
An eye patch, Mallory.
No, like one of the double ones.
A sleep
Put
mask.
your sleep mask
Yeah.
on.
I can't put my sleep mask on when I'm recording a podcast.
Why? Like 7 people watch this on YouTube. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Let's see if it goes away in 10 more
Although
minutes.
like 200 people watched Amy Connors, so
Yeah. Because she's the best.
She's
Yeah.
Gorgina.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
that is my wedding update.
That's really exciting.
Yeah, it is quite exciting. Yeah, it is going to be good.
It's going to be here so soon.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw my text, but bridal council's in like 60 days.
Yeah, that's going to happen fast too. I just have a feeling that May is going to be like, blink, done.
Ryan's graduating,
Oh
little
my
baby.
Ryan, what
gosh.
day is he graduating?
The 16th, I want to say.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot of job offers
Oh,
and he's a smart
Amazing.
little cookie and he's going to be fine.
I'd like to hire Ryan.
Yeah, I hire him every day to clean our kitchen.
I'd like to hire him to just like be kind of
Be
like
Ryan.
be like Ryan, but like for me, kind of not in every way.
Yeah. I was like, I feel like you're probably not into Ryan like that.
No, I mean more in like
he's like really not your type at all. Like could
Not at
not
all.
be further from your type.
No, I mean more in an administrative sense, but I know
Yeah.
he'd be
No,
very
I got that.
capable at cleaning
I
the
don't know
kitchen
if you'd
as well.
actually want him in an administrative sense. I feel like that's not really his strong suit.
I just mean like Ryan on a Zoom. Like I want Ryan on a Zoom for me.
You want
You know?
access to Ryan.
Well, I mean like if I'm like, okay, Laura, like time to prep for a job interview. I want Ryan to do the
Yeah,
job interview
yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
No,
And
I
be like,
agree
I
with
am
that.
speaking on Laura's behalf.
Yeah, I think
you guys
he'd be
ever
very
seen-
good at that.
Have you ever seen those videos of that person who pretends to be children's lawyers, like toddlers' lawyers?
Yeah.
No.
I feel like that's the vibe I'm getting right now, where it's like Ryan is your lawyer, and just be
I want Ryan to be my counsel, my legal counsel.
yeah.
Don't answer that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
Objection.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Leading the witness.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
Wait, oh my gosh. Let's talk about the jury.
Wait,
Mallory,
Mom,
have you
seen
heard
it?
of the jury?
No, clearly my face looks lost.
Do you want to go into it, Laura? Explain
Okay.
it.
Well, okay, I'm sure everyone like
Anyone who doesn't live under a rock probably knows what you're talking about.
I didn't mean to say everyone like that. I really had to like stop myself.
This is a classic Mallory lives under a rock moment. Okay, all right.
No, because like some people I know, some people at my work hadn't heard of it, but it's basically this show that is on like some weird random streaming service.
Okay.
And
Through
it's-
Amazon Prime.
is it?
Such a weird niche.
It lives
It's a
on
tiny little streaming service, Amazon Prime. Cutest little one.
You probably haven't heard of this small local owned company, Amazon.
No, it lives on Amazon Prime and also on this thing which I assume owns Amazon Prime owns, which is called Freevee. Freevee. So it's on Amazon Prime and Freevee.
Okay. Yeah.
Why the
Are you
blank stares?
tracking?
Yeah. Two
Okay.
options.
Okay.
So it's this show, and the premise is like all of these actors are on like this fake trial doing like a fake documentary, and one person is not an actor. One person is a real person who thinks that he's actually in a jury
it's called
documentary.
Jury Duty.
Oh.
Yeah, because my dad literally, he's gonna laugh so hard. My dad literally texted me this an hour ago to watch it. He explained the whole thing to me. So, fun fact, I do know. See, Jury Duty.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
wrong, Laura.
No,
Oh, really? I was wrong. Sorry, Jury Duty.
12 jurors, 11
Anyway,
actors.
Yeah, if you haven't heard of it though, it is a really good show.
Yeah, I actually do want to see it. Dad thought it was so funny.
Oh, it's hilarious.
So
And
I
it
just want to
really,
say I don't live under a rock because Ed educated me before this.
Yes, the record's been straightened.
But
But
I feel like it's such a slow form of comedy. Like as the episodes increase, it gets funnier and funnier because like the bit is just even more intense. Like the first episode, you're like, haha, this is kind of funny and like a little bit weird. And then when you're into the later ones, it's like, damn, like this this is getting outrageous.
it's hilarious. Yeah, you and Ryan should start it tonight.
Well, right now I'm rewatching the first season of Bridgerton, so I'm actually a little busy
you're booked
tonight.
and busy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm booked being super turned on by
I was gonna
show.
say.
Yeah. You're
I watched like the full 3 hours last night of it by myself because Ryan's not here. And I was like, this show, sexiest show on TV.
Oh, I wish I could have watched it.
There is so much tension in that show.
Yeah, it's so much sexier than the second season, in my opinion. There's just so much sexual tension. Anyway. Okay, Jury Duty, noted. Moving on. Ken, you had quite a traumatic thing happen to you. Maybe we should talk about that.
Yes, I did. Let me pull up my notes because I actually think this is really important. Not the accident, but what my therapist said about it. So we're gonna maybe combine therapy corner
Cool.
with
Therapy thoughts. Yeah.
Yep, therapy thoughts. TT, like Khloe Kardashian's baby. Sorry. Did you guys see the whole like joke about that? I forgot that you weren't my audience with that joke as I was saying it, and then I should have taken it back, but it was too late.
Someone out there is laughing.
Someone hopefully got it.
Basically, for context, Khloe Kardashian hasn't released the baby's name because they think that it'll boost like ratings for the show. So it's like a big joke that they on all the Easter stuff it was
TT?
Well, on everyone's Easter stuff it just said TT, like but everyone else had their full names, and like they're going to such lengths to keep hiding this baby's name, which is just like so ridiculous. And the big joke is that it's Tristan Thompson Jr. and that she's
Holy shit.
gonna get roasted. Anyways, moving on to traumatic events. But yeah, basically on Monday I was coming home from practice. So I'd practice like 45 minutes away, and it's in a rural area. And so my drive home is normally always dark. And like I've always, since I started this job like over a year and a half ago, I always was worried about my drive home. And like one route, there's not very much service and there's a ton of potholes, and it's like not the best to go down at night. And then the other route is like a major highway, but it's like people go faster on it and it's just like sketchy. So it's kind of like pick which evil do you want?
Poison.
Yeah. And that night I had been gifted a massage, which was really nice. So I had stayed after practice, and my practice ends at 7, and then I stayed after practice to do the massage, and then I didn't end up leaving until like 9. No, a little bit before 9. And so I chose the busier highway option, and because it's usually faster, it's just like a little more streamlined, better roads. And very long story short, hit an elk was the accident. And I know that there's elk on this road, so I'm always like eyes peeled because I've seen them before, like on the side of the road. But there's also no light out here. Like it's pitch black at night, like literally nothing. And so I basically just like pull down the road, and then all of a sudden I see like 4 huge elk in the middle of the road, like going across both lanes. And I sorry, there's a lot of noises outside that I'm hearing. But basically I ended up braking really, really hard, and I was able to slow down enough that when I hit the elk, I was only going, I think, 20 to 30 miles per hour. But I did still hit one. And like, if you guys don't know how big elk are, like its belly was like over the hood of my car. Like that's how tall they are. Like these aren't like little baby, like miniature elk. Like these are huge, big boys. And
adult elk weigh like average 1,000 pounds. Just
yeah,
big boy.
wow. Yeah. And so basically I hit it, and then when something like that happens, like everything slows down, like time really slows down. And so I had like a very, like when I close my eyes, I still see like my car getting closer and closer, and then I see myself hitting them. And then they scatter, whatever, but I kept driving a little bit, and then I pulled off to the side of the road. And my car's smoking, like it's making a bunch of noise. And so I call 911 and talk to the person who answers, and they are like, "Okay, we'll send troopers out." So they send troopers out, and I had to wait like I think 45 minutes or so for them to come out, which is a short amount of time, Mallory, to wait.
That's fast.
It's a really fast response. And
what did you do for that 45 minutes?
Just scare the shit out of myself because now I'm on the side of a dark road. My hazards are on, right? But like people are driving past me at like 70 miles per hour, like so fast. So then that's when I got most scared, because I was making all my calls. I was like, okay, AAA, like 911, AAA. And then I called my mom, and then I called Laura, and Laura was going to come and get me. And at that point, Laura had been like, I texted Laura, and I was like, oh, this happened. And she was like, I'll come and get you. And in my head, I was like, coming and get me. Like, that seems a little unnecessary at the time. And then I was like, wait a second, like my car is literally not drivable. So wait, yeah, am I forgetting anything? That's like the extent of the event. It happened really fast, but basically took total, I think 2.5 hours to have everyone come who needed to help me.
What did the state troopers say when they got there?
That this happens all the time and that I got really, really lucky. That my crash was very minor compared to almost all other elk crashes that they see. I mean, like, it's very probable I could have just died. Like, that's if I hadn't stopped, like, hitting something that hard or that heavy at a high speed is really dangerous. But they think that the elk survived, so that's a positive.
Why do they think that?
Because it wasn't dead on the side of the road. And they're pretty resilient animals. Like, they're big, they're huge. So
Yeah. Holy
Yeah.
moly.
I know.
I'm glad you didn't die.
Me too. It's just like so amazing that you were able to, in that moment, like think, like, do not yank your steering wheel to the side. Do not, because so many people, when they know that they're about to get in an accident, it's actually very common for people to just go hands up and just kind of be like, Jesus, take the wheel a little bit. Like, because I don't know, it's scary and you know that something is coming at you. So I'm just like so happy that you were able to, like, brake, but also not get absolutely wrecked from behind from the people that were driving behind you. And still, like, even in my eyes, like, kind of a miracle that, because that road, it's pitch black, but it's also pretty windy. And, there's not a safe shoulder at all. So for you to, it was a really fast response, and I'm glad they got out there quickly. But like, if you had been waiting longer, like if someone hadn't seen you on the side, like, it's just scary.
Or if someone stopped and it was someone who was not a kind person, like, I was scared of that. But I was, like, most proud of the fact that I didn't swerve, because that's been, like, drilled into me since I was a baby driver. And I just, like, basically I just, like, held on tight and hit. So, and my mom was on my, like, my car phone, and, like, so she heard the whole thing happen, which is really scary for her. Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to be on the other side of a phone call like that. Because basically I was just like, oh my god, fuck, and then I hit, which is not funny. It's I'm laughing, but it's not funny.
Oh my God, that is so scary.
Yeah, we're actually, like, pretty traumatized.
I'm so sorry you went through that.
It's okay.
What are your therapy thoughts associated with it?
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say that thankfully I wasn't very physically hurt. I just had what I think is, like, muscle strain in my back, and it was kind of weird though, because I had Laura look at my back, but, like, I had bruising even though nothing hit it, which was, like, a really strange thing for my body to experience. But basically so that happened on Monday, and then I had therapy on Wednesday. And I talked to my therapist, and she was like, "Oh my god, like, that's so much." And also on the other side of the road, like, I was on the right side that just has a soft shoulder, like a little ditch. But on the other side of the road, like, oftentimes, I don't know if it was at this exact spot, but there's a drop off, like a pretty big drop off. And so, or at least like a larger hill. And so, like, she was just like, "I'm so glad you didn't, like, go down the hill." And I was like, "Me too." But basically she just, like, helped me focus on how to not make this into, like, a future traumatizing event, which is kind of hard because you don't know how it's gonna affect you. Like, yesterday I had to drive to an hour to my volleyball tournament, and the last 15 minutes were, like, no visibility fog, and my body, like, freaked out. Like, I was so stressed, I was so anxious. I, like, kind of started to disassociate because I kept like, it's so silly, but I kept seeing like elk come out of like the fog and
Mhm.
feeling like I was going to hit them. And that part just wasn't fun. But basically, we talked about my response after, which was I so after I knew everything was like okay, I started to shake. My body was shaking a lot. And that was a good thing because it was my body releasing like the stress and the cortisol of the traumatic experience. And then as soon as I was on the phone with Laura, I cried. And then when I was in person with Laura, I really cried. And so she said it was also a really good thing that I cried because my body was recognizing safety and that it was okay to like process. So that was an important thing. And like over the next few weeks, she's like, if your body does weird things, honestly, even like this eye situation right now could be related. She's like, your body has weird movements or twitches or shaking or symptoms. She's like, you just have to let it go because it's most likely still trying to process stress from the actual event. So you don't want to fight your nervous system with that. And then she kind of just we talked a lot about, rumination over when events like this happen and how that's actually really normal for the brain to do because it's trying to keep you alive. And it's also really normal to have like this thing basically bargaining with yourself like, oh, if I would have taken this other road, I wouldn't have hit it and I wouldn't have caused this, or if I had done this, or if I had left
Yeah.
30 minutes earlier. And that's all super normal, that bargaining, because like our brain is like, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive. So we're trying to figure out all the other things that we could have done to stay alive, basically.
Mm.
Um, and let's see what else. She just like really coming back to the belief that when something bad did happen, I knew how to handle it and I knew what to do. And that's the most important thing that matters. And the biggest thing that was helpful to me was she was like, when those rumination thoughts come up and they're like not really helpful anymore, really try and focus your body back to the question of when did you know you were safe? And then focus
Mm.
into that safe feeling. And it doesn't necessarily mean that like the uncomfortable feelings are gone, but we aren't living in that like stress response. You're more like just resource like even right now telling it like my voice is shaky because my body is shaking. And that's just
Mhm.
something that has to happen because it was scary. Um and that like reminding our brain that sometimes accidents just happen and it doesn't matter like what happened in the moment, but as long as that we know how to help our body after is the important part. Um and just like reminding yourself that like my actions could have saved my life that night. And as just like really focusing on as soon as, that feeling of safety.
And that you responded exactly how you needed to that
Yeah.
situation. I mean, I feel like it must be like slightly relieving that you did exactly what you needed to do.
Yeah. And that part doesn't surprise me as much because I just think in highly traumatizing moments or like panic, I tend to be pretty eerily calm and
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at like getting everything done that needs to get done. But like as soon as I got home, like Laura had to sleep with me and I was just like every couple of seconds just like going into a new crying bout, which was good. I think that there was a lot of people that I could have been around that I think maybe you two would be the only people that I'd feel comfortable, like, letting my body roll with all of that, and I think because I was able to do that and Laura was able to just, like, be there, I processed way more than I would have if I was in another situation. But
Yeah.
yeah, a huge headache for sure.
It's so like, I don't know. I just think like car accidents are a special kind of traumatic. And even though like, you didn't have to go to the hospital, you didn't hit another person, like it's still a car accident and it's still like uh just the worst feeling. And I don't know. I think having that happen to you and you like how can I say this? I think that um once like those traumatic things happen to like you or happen to someone close to you, like someone who that I love, it makes everything else almost feel like, as you were talking about, it makes life feel more fragile and makes my body feel more fragile than I normally consciously think that it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it, it has those lasting effects of like physical things coming up for you, like your eye, but also I think lasting effects in terms of your capacity to handle any kind of stress that's coming up at any point right now.
It's like non-existent. I'm so overwhelmed.
Especially stress with driving. Like,
yeah.
Driving in the fog that we had this weekend, and
I still haven't driven at night, which is like a whole nother layer. And I think it's helpful to have a rental car that's not my car because I get to kind of separate a little bit. And my therapist was like, when you do feel that stress before driving, or when you have to drive at night, like just resource yourself before you start your drive so you're not like pushing it away. But yeah, you're right. It's like it puts everything into perspective. And even though I wasn't seriously hurt and, was pretty much totally fine, like it does make this kind of thing of like, okay, this is important. This is what's not important. And it's also frustrating when you have to handle all this stuff or life just moves on. Like I just got up and went to work the next day, and like, not that that shouldn't have happened necessarily, but it's also just like, what's the point? Like, why am I here right now? Like, I just went through this
think
event.
it shouldn't have happened for the record.
Yeah.
But like, things that make your body seem more fragile, like someone dying close to you, making life feel fragile, someone, a very, very clear thing that we rely on our cars for safety, but like your car protected you, but the safety only goes so far. And then I don't know, it's just like I've noticed, at least for myself, like dealing with those kinds of, it's really hard for me when maybe like death or injury for me in my job doesn't feel so intense, but then when something happens closer to home, it's brought to like a little bit more of my limit where I'm like, oh, this is now uncomfortable. Like because now it's like I'm associating those people getting hurt to you getting hurt, or whatever. It's shitty.
Yeah. We forgot to say the part though where Laura came out to get me. And
God, yeah.
So when Laura arrived, I was still sitting in my car because I was too scared to get out of my car. Well, when it first happened, I knew not to get out because elk are mean and like it can attack you. Like you don't want to be around a large animal that you just fucking hit. So like,
well, or if mama was around and you hit baby. Yeah.
And so I was like, I need to stay in the car. And so I stayed in the car. And I waited for the troopers, and then the troopers get there and I'm like handing my insurance over, like shaking so bad, and my license or whatever. And then like Laura arrives, and finally the second trooper comes and he's like, do you want to get out of the car and like see what's going on? And I was like, yeah, I like, sure. But whatever. So that whole thing happened. Finally, the troopers are like, we wish we could say we cannot stay and wait for the tow. We have to leave. And I was like, Roger, like that makes sense. This is a fairly minor accident. Like go help people who need it. And so they left, and we were going to pull out like a half a mile, if that, down the road to like a private street that we were just going to sit on and wait for the tow. So it was a slightly safer. And while we were waiting, Lara's car died, which was the part.
Heck yeah.
And then I was like still like so loopy from the experience. I just started cackling. And I was like, sorry, Lara, it's not funny, because Lara was stressed about it, as she should be. But
I was mostly stressed because I was like, okay, if I now have to coordinate a tow that we somehow get out here in another few hours. I was on call the next morning, which starts at 6 a.m. It was getting to midnight, 12:30. I was like, this could be very bad.
How did you get the car to work again?
Well, our tow company, or Makena's tow company, I guess, was a bit of a family operation. So the wife of the tow driver came out to jump us.
Oh,
yeah.
That's really nice.
It was really sweet.
I was like, thank you so much for helping. And she was like, this is what we do. And I was like,
hell yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. But now it's like the second half of all of this is dealing with car stuff, which is
Your own personal
Super fun.
nightmare. Yeah.
horrible.
McKenna loves car stuff anyway, so
Everyone does.
Thankfully, everyone I've dealt with though has been really nice for the most part, but they like lost my car for 2 days, didn't know where it was. Then finally they got us the right shop that took the correct insurance, and then I just met with them on Friday and we did a walkthrough of the car and she actually looks pretty good, not too bad. And then it's probably going to take 3 weeks to fix it.
wow.
Yeah,
That's quite a long time.
I know. She'll get a new hood for sure.
Wow.
Yep.
And Laura, is your car okay?
Yeah, I should probably get a new battery in pretty soon because it was really dead. Like normally, you know, when your car battery dies, you can still like see lights on your dash or whatever. No lights were going on at all. Couldn't put my hazards on. Couldn't put my front lights nothing.
And then
so we were
sitting,
we were sitting in the middle of nowhere with no lights.
like we flagged down the tow truck driver with our flashlights, our
Flashlights,
phone
yeah.
flashlights,
Praying that it was actually the tow truck driver and not
and not
else.
like someone who will hurt us.
Yeah.
But huge proponent now of, I always have like first aid kit, cables, etc. in my car, but like, and I think I have a flare, but it's making me want to go back and do like a quick double check about my car safety emergency kit and see if it needs to be updated at all.
For sure. That's a great call.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on that?
No, no final thoughts.
How do you think it'll feel to get back driving in your car?
I'm really excited. I am not a fan. I'm very grateful for the car I have right now, but I'm not a fan of the car. I don't feel very safe in it. And I just want my big guy back. Like I like being in a big car. And
Not to stereotype your car at all,
please do.
but it's kind of like is maybe problematic. It kind of is like baby bitch bottom vibes.
Yeah.
Wait, what car is it?
It's like, I mean, no slander here for sure.
No slander to the Sonata community.
Yeah. Okay. So just think about it like in high school. Think about, you know, your everyday white girl probably drove this car, like small white little car.
Like a sedan.
See, here's the thing. I don't know how to distinguish.
No, it's not a sedan.
It's a
Is it a
Hyundai.
hatchback?
Hyundai Sonata.
No.
Sonata.
It's like a very compact little beep beep. Yeah, no car.
The horn is like literally when I lock it, it's like beep. I'm like, is this a toy?
Yeah, it's kind of like Barbie's.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not my vibe. It's just not, you normally drive like this large Jeep thing. So it feels funny to have you driving that.
Yeah, no hate at all to the little car community, but it is saving me a lot of money on gas. I'll give it that.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it's a hybrid.
Nice.
I mean, it is a sedan, to be clear.
Okay, yeah, sedan.
Okay, my bad. I guess I don't know what a sedan is.
A sedan is anything that has like its own trunk, like that is not a part of the back of the car. So there's like a hatchback. I learned this all in the car buying process, but a hatchback would be one where the back opens,
and you can still see it.
Yeah, and you can still see it. A sedan is where it's like its own separate unit.
Gotcha.
And is SUV in a different set of categories from sedan hatchback?
Yeah, an SUV would be larger than a hatchback.
Oh, but it's still okay. Yeah. No, I think that like today has been my hardest day, honestly. And so I worked a 6-day week this week. So today was my only day off. So that's like why I think today's hard, because I'm like my body's like, we're resting a little bit, but also remember this really scary thing that happened that you had to like shelf because you worked like all day every day the past week. And so that makes sense, but it's still annoying. And I don't feel like I'm a very fun person to be around.
You're always fun.
That's a lie, but thank you.
It's also okay to like have a little phase of needing to not be fun also.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just hard when it's like when you're kind of like ornery, I guess, but there's nothing that can really fix it. Like you just kind of have to like do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Should we wrap up?
Let's wrap you
Yeah.
wrap.
Sorry guys, that was a long story.
No, that's like I was
was a
I
big
was thinking a
event.
lot about like Lara's dog bite and then
Mhm.
this and how I feel like there's been two kind of very traumatic animal experiences recently. Because I was like, maybe we should name this episode McKenna's Very Bad, Horrible,
Yeah.
No Good Day.
Yeah. We should. Let's get that dog and that elk in a room with us.
Yeah, see who wins.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm a fan of the elk. I'm not a fan of the dog. The elk didn't do anything to me personally, you know?
No, the elk was just minding its own
The
business.
elk was just
The
trying to
elk,
live.
if anything, I was in the elk's way. Like, if anything, the elk has beef with me.
Yeah.
Oh shit. They think you think they know where we live?
Maybe you need
Probably.
to duel it out.
You guys,
Sorry, I'm really in Bridgerton mode. I'm all about the duels.
Duels.
when I had to look through my car though, like we walk around, the guy looks, he goes, what is this? Because he doesn't know what happened. He's like, is this elk hair? And I was like, yeah, it's elk hair in my grill. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I was talking to the troopers about that because it looked like pine cones. It's such thick hair and it's just sticking all over the grill. I'm like, it looks like you attacked a pine cone.
Yeah. Yep. There wasn't that much though. And the troopers afterwards were like, you know what? He's going up. He's having a snack right now. He's fine. It's like, literally, thank you for saying that because I could not handle it if I killed this animal.
No. Mm-mm.
No, there's no way you did.
Thanks.
Okay. I mean,
Okay.
should we tell everyone that we're recording these back to back? So technically they
No,
are.
we're not. That's a secret.
I know, but I think that they
Well,
should
they're gonna
know.
see my eye in each of them, so
Yeah.
there's no hiding.
We can't like really change our outfits or anything. But yeah, we're recording these back to back. So I guess we're recording this on April 16th. So just for in case we are saying things as if they're current events, when you listen to this, it may not have been the most specific of current events.
Yeah.
But-
So stay tuned to next week where we get Lars updates and Mouse updates.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Love you.
Love you.